The number one reason that you struggle to stick to it. We're into week 3 of the month, and I'm going to talk about things related to adherence, the sticking to it side of things that we often struggle with the most. And from my experience, as always, I've both been a human for 40 odd years, 20 odd years of being in the fitness industry, 10 years of doing this. Often the main reason that we struggle to stick to it, or at least something that underpins our struggles, is we don't know or haven't got clear on what it is. Often, when people don't do what they set out to do, the intention was somewhat vague. Each week, when people set rise plans, you'll have noticed that either we tag them in the group or text them if it's anonymous and ask them for a bit more detail. Because a vague plan that involves words like more or less or start or stop or try to will probably just go the same way as it went the last however many times we tried to do it. Because without details there, nearly always a number, we're not going to set a particularly effective plan to make that thing happen. We're not then going to know if we're on target. We're not going to build confidence and momentum for achieving those things. We're not going to course correct if they're not happening. We're just going to be left with how we feel about the situation, and how we feel about the situation will invariably tell us that we're failing, that it's not going well, that we've fallen off the wagon, that we've self-sabotaged, that we've got it wrong and need to start again next week. If we put some specifics to the thing that we want to do, if we say 3 workouts next week at certain times, we'll get them in the diary, we'll put plans in place for them to happen. Doesn't automatically mean they're going to happen, but it's way more likely than if we just say start again exercising or exercise more. If we tell ourselves we're going to eat better next week, chances are we won't. Chances are we'll do something that doesn't fit in the woolly definition of eat better, and again think we've failed. If we decide we're going to have a total of 10,000 calories across the week, we can put in place a plan to make that happen. We can track on a number of days, get in 12 or 1500, and know that the weekend we've got a bit of a buffer, so when we find it more difficult to track or don't want to, we know that we're likely still to come in target. We can choose to only eat out a certain number of times per week, or only drink alcohol a certain number of times per week. We can choose to have a specific plan around anything that we want to do. And by having that specific plan, by having a number and some details to it, I can guarantee you're way more likely to do it than without that. And if you don't do it, you can look at why not. Again, you can course correct, you can learn from it. When you go to work, they don't just say perform better, do better at your job. They give you specifics. And if those specifics, those KPIs aren't happening, you look at why. If they are, again, you build confidence and momentum. Treat the things that you're struggling to adhere to stick to in the same way, and I guarantee it makes it way more likely that they'll happen.